today's game, everybody. Today we are continuing an epic battle in Battles of Westeros. It is the Game of Thrones battle game, and we are doing the epic battle called Battle of Blackwater. It's a three-part series where the Baratheons are attacking King's Landing and trying to take over the main city. Baratheon, basically what happened last week is Baratheon, who is yellow, they came across on these boats and had some really strong hits, particularly with the second-in-command Bryce Caron, made a really strong attack through there and took out actually one of the Lannister commanders, and the Lannisters were split into two, basically trying to block off there and block off down here. Down in the south they were a bit more successful, even though the Baratheon had a really good showing and really came up and smacked through a lot of them, but Lannisters had really placed a pretty strong wall there and had stopped them. And basically right over here is the commander of this region, and that, let's see, that is Andrew Estimore. And he had done a pretty good job of doing it. In fact, his own command, all of his escorts were killed, and he's there alone, and he still has one more command left, but they are up against quite a bit. But it ended up with the Baratheons winning that particular one because they basically needed to take the shoreline, and they have, or at least part of the shoreline, and they took 2 victory points, and that's what they needed to win. So it is currently turn 4. The second part takes us to turn 7. And what they need to do is they need to take 2 of these spots. Now, they cannot take the gate unless the Lannisters choose to open it, in which they'll need to open it to get all that large number of units through. However, they also have this secret door. And if you've read the books or seen the series, you know this is where Tyrion Lannister sneaked through and managed to hit them hard. And so only the Lannisters can get through there, so if they don't open the gates, they can still get in and out through that secret entrance. That leaves the Baratheons only being able to capture those points, so they're going to need to do that. Speaking of Tyrion, actually I do not have his miniature or his card. I thought it came in the original game, and then in looking closely I found that nope, you have to have the expansion to have him. So I am proxying in. I wish I wasn't proxying because I really do like Tyrion. I mean, obviously he's kind of everybody's favorite. But I'm using Tywin Lannister to replace him because he's mounted, and apparently Tyrion was supposed to be mounted too, which I found a little bit odd. Jaime Lannister seems more like a pick for Tyrion, but he's on foot, and his assistant, I can't think of his name, but anyway, Tyrion's buddy, the Hound, that's it, is supposed to be on foot, so he's going to proxy in for the Hound. Well, I'm going to call him the Hound, even though it's Jaime's card and stuff like that. I'm just going to give him his abilities and all that sort of thing, and Tyrion's will be Tywin's. And, you know, I might get that eventually. It's a great character, and that'd be really neat. But anyway, that's what we're going to have to use for now. And on the Lannister side, the Baratheon side, we have this fun character here, who is Melisandre, the Red Witch. And she's going to have some very interesting things to do, especially when Stannis is still alive, and so she's going to be able to do great things with him. In fact, he actually personally captured all the victory points last time, so she's going to be very proud of him, and she's going to be coming in and doing a lot of funky stuff with him. So without further ado, let's get to it.
They say I am half a man, but what does that make the lot of you?
The only way out is through the gates. And there aren't the gates.
There's another way out. I'm going to show you. Come out behind them and fuck them in their asses. Don't fight for your king. And don't fight for his kingdoms. Don't fight for honor. Don't fight for glory. Don't fight for riches because he won't get any. This is your city Stannis means to sack. That's your gate he's ramming. If he gets in, it will be your houses he burns. Your gold he steals. Your women he will rape. Those are brave men knocking at our door. Let's go kill them!
trebuchet bombardment comes down on Maesa and her army of the light, and boy does it come down. It takes out some of her bodyguard, some of them next to her, and over on the flank. So they are reduced in number by quite a bit at this beginning of the game, and the Lannisters will go first. And to start this phase of the battle off, both sides are playing to their strengths. The Lannisters started off here in the south and kicked Andrew Estermont off the board. They ran up to him, didn't actually hit him, but they caused a bunch of retreats, made him go. And over here they hit one of the Axemen and caused them to retreat back to the, well, basically just right by the edge of the board, so their back is against the wall. Over here, Stannis and Maesa used their linked ability. It's called Relay, and essentially either one of them can command troops through one another. So he can utilize his command ability to order his own and order one of her troops, or somebody who's within range of hers. So he actually ordered Bryce to go with his cavalry up to this side while ordering hers from the other side to attack from that side. So now they are flanking. That's the best use of that ability, because basically it allows them to flank pretty easily. By commanding on one side and then commanding on the other, all within the same turn. So they went up there, but these guys are just so tough. They are heavy infantry that they are getting hit piece by piece. But they're still standing. Most of them are, at least. This next turn took place all over here. These pikemen attacked the Red Witch, although she has a green flag and they have a red flag, and they're red and she's gray. I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, they attacked her, got rid of her escort, but they fought back, killed one of them, and then she used basically a token, but we're going to say it was just her fearfulness to strike fear into the Lannisters in general, and their morale has gone down. They're just there, and they lose this entire campaign, or this entire epic battle, so they need to watch themselves.
Come on, you bastards! Get up those ladders! Attack!
And it just got real up here in the northern part of the map. Tyrion led a cavalry charge out of the secret door, raced out here, attacked Bryce's command, actually killed all of his escorts, sent him running, and took this little village outside of the city walls. Meanwhile, Maesa, the Red Witch, and her cultists came up here and hit that heavy infantry that was here, sent the survivors running. In fact, if they had destroyed them, that would be it for the Lannisters, because that would take them down by 3, and they would be their morale would be over with. And a lot of movement brings us to the end of this turn. The Lannisters shifted some more cavalry to go through the secret doorway. The Baratheons brought up some of their cultists to block at least the paths of the Red Witch, if not the other people. And over here, Kevin has moved up to be with his guys to make one last attack. These archers actually made another strike. Yes, there are still archers picking away at each other here, and they actually managed to cause some of the Baratheons to retreat a little bit over there. Maybe a little bit of a moral victory. Oh yes, and the Red Witch continued her witchcraft and scariness and caused the morale of the Lannister to go down even further. It is really getting close over there. All they need to do is kill one blue unit, and it is over for the Lannisters. And a couple interesting things happened here. Tyrion ordered all of the units within his range to attack, and they surrounded and just tackled those cultists. But the cultists fight back, even if they're destroyed. They're just very dedicated to what they're doing, and they knocked out an entire cavalry unit. So that was pretty nasty, pretty bloody. And seeing all this fighting taking place, the Red Witch basically cast a spell, and she put shadow children onto Tyrion, which basically means every turn Shadow Children are going to be removed from that, and when all the Shadow Children are gone, he just automatically dies. Sorry, Tyrion. That is a pretty sad thing, but he was the closest thing to her, and she saw that he was being very effective, so she gave birth to a Shadow Child to kill him. That's basically what happened to Renly in the series and the books. Oh yes, an important thing to note about the morale, when the Lannisters beat those cultists, the morale went up, but then the cultists fought back and the morale went right back down, so they're still in the same danger they were before. We skip forward a few turns here to see that the Baratheons have been unloading their boats, bringing their guys up, and putting their commanders further to the back so that they don't get killed. Managed to get up there, caused the heavy cavalry to retreat, but then these bowmen shot over here and got the last of that unit, so actually they were weakened, and that's one Baratheon unit down, so actually their morale, also actually by the way, the Lannisters have been spending their time raising up their morale using flag tokens, and because they just killed that, they go up by 2 more, so now they've got a little bit of a comfort zone in terms of morale.
Get over!
Fighting now took place down here, where the last of the Baratheon axemen down here tried to break free, but as you can see, he got surrounded as he tried to move out, and got pretty well smacked, especially seeing as Kevin Lannister was there and was able to give these 2 guys a bonus of +2 on top of 4 dice already, because they are heavy infantry. Well, this turn looked over with everybody just sort of doing non-attack moves. You had Baratheons moving over there to get ready for their ships, and the other ones getting off the ships so that they'd be cleared to go back for them. You had the Lannisters basically over here saying, alright, well, we cleared this out, time to start heading back there. So it really was looking like the turn was over, and then the Lannisters played this. Rally all units, which means they are all going to be available to attack again. Wow. And Tyrion uses that opportunity to charge all of his cavalry right into that one unit, that one Axeman unit right there. They surround him, almost completely surround him, just start wiping him out, but he manages to hold on by the skin of his teeth. There's one single stand left there. Actually, the last part was just a retreat, but as you can see, there's nowhere for him to retreat, so he took one last loss. The fighting this turn took place all along here. Baratheon attacked this space, which had Tyrion and his escort. They killed the escort, and Tyrion went running. It seems to be a theme this particular game. Then Lannister retaliated by sending their cavalry in there, took down this guy, and attacked here, and took down one of the cultists. We had forgotten something. The cultists have the Zealot ability, which allows them to fight back, and look at what we have here. They only had 2 stands there. That takes them out. Kaboom! So that cavalry unit is gone because they attacked those cultists. Baratheon came in here with 2 attacks and tackled that cavalry, but did not destroy them. And this cavalry came in to attack that cultist. Did take the cultist down, but the cultist did not go out without a fight. It took out one of the pieces from that cavalry unit. So the Hound may have just saved the city. He played Order 3 units, which is good enough, but also then he added on to that. Before moving, each order unit may regain 1 eliminated figure, and that gave 1 to all of these guys. He was going to give 1 to his buddy Tyrion, but he was too far away, so now he came 1 space closer, so maybe he can do that a little bit later. Anyway, the specific ones he ordered was himself, and these 2. This one moved up here, got 2 hits, 3 hits actually, or a green hit and 2 fists, which would have killed this unit, except infantry on cavalry, the fists don't count. So, but he also had a retreat on there, so it caused them to run away. They basically saw they were going to get killed, and so they ran off. Meanwhile, this cavalry unit that had a reinforcement on there took out the cultists, and then they, of course, came back with a hit and took out the reinforcement that had just come in. So it was a good thing they got the reinforcement there. And now they've kind of locked in a little bit of a wall there, and are pushing back Baratheon and bringing their morale back up. In fact, morale is at neutral now. It's exactly 50%. The Lannisters have really done a good job of bringing that back up. So that turn ends with the table looking like this. Down here, Kevin and his soldiers are starting to move back up to this area. Lannisters holding on, although they are really thin along here, but Baratheon's pretty thin as well, and there's no way they're going to get to the gate at this particular point. And meanwhile, we have some others going across there. So at this point, it looks like it's just sort of getting ready for the next stage of the game, the final one, the climax. And wow, Lannister is stomping all over Baratheon this turn. They came in with cavalry here, took them down, and came in with cavalry. Actually, they attacked them here, and they get a pursuit, plus the card would allow a second pursuit. They didn't need it. They went all in there and just took him down. So Tyrion is one heck of a commander. This came from his order, and he has just really been dancing all over this board, and all that's left to defend now are the three commanders. You have Stannis, Melisandre, the Red Witch, and Bryce Caron. So that's all that's sort of standing in their way defending. The reinforcements would be coming in here if they can hold out the rest of this turn. The Baratheon archers fired from the boat that just brought them over, and they took down the cavalry that was bearing down on the Baratheon commanders. There's been some shuffling around and moving of some pieces here, and the main thing is the archers got rallied by Baratheon, who doesn't lose any morale and doesn't even have to spend any command points for it. So they got rallied, ran up in front of them to make a line and defend against them, and they shot down the heavy infantry of Lannister. So now they're once again starting to look thin, and their morale's starting to go down. So right here at the end, the Baratheons are not going to win this particular part, but they are definitely picking them apart to make the next part a little bit easier. And the Hound pulls it out once again, rallying all the units. So that is all of the Lannister units ready to act again this turn. And Baratheon is not able to do much. They've pretty much run out of steam, except they're able to put these cavalry onto the boats, and of course you know how hard it is to get horses onto boats. So it goes back to the Lannisters, and the Hound orders those three units, gets them moving. You got heavy infantry and cavalry all going at these archers. The heavy infantry gets up to them, and only one kill, but the two retreats kills them off because they have nowhere to run to. And then the cavalry comes up, gets 3 hits. This was a full unit, so there was 1 left. That leaves it to the little guy himself, Tyrion Lannister, goes up there and with a fist of all things finishes them off. And so they have gotten rid of the entire line defending the Baratheon leadership. You have Stannis Baratheon right there. You've got the Red Witch, and you got Bryce Caron. All of them like in a firing squad. Their backs are up against the wall. You have cavalry bearing down on them, heavy infantry, and especially Tyrion. But Tyrion's last shadow walker, or shadow child, goes off. He falls over dead. The Lannisters have no more cards to bring out. They've got nothing else that they can continue the turn with. So the turn technically ends, and we go on to the next stage, and guess what? That's when reinforcements come in for Baratheon. So just as their backs are against the wall, they get some reinforcements. We go to the next phase. This was technically a Lannister victory because Baratheons did not take any of the victory points. But the next one's going to be a winner-take-all. They will both get reinforcements in there, and we will see who will win this. So tune in next week to see the final episode of this Battle of Blackwater Bay in Battles of Westeros from the universe or world, whatever, of Game of Thrones. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you can see the end of this and our other mini videos. Happy gaming, everybody!